10th of December, Rabbi Levitt, Pele Yoetz.
Okay, welcome everyone. This Erev Shabbos, Parshas Vayigash, Tafshin Pei Beis. Very good. Okay. Okay, so
We started travel yesterday, right?
we started travel, yes. We started travel. That's what we did. We started travel.
I think we finished it. We're up to proper conduct, aren't we?
That's where I am.
We finished travel even. Okay. Yeah, we talked about travel on Erev Shabbat. Yes. Okay, Derech Eretz, proper conduct. So, Roy, would you like to start off for us?
All right. Derech Eretz, translated here as proper conduct. The branches and details of proper conduct are many. The idea of proper conduct is lengthier than the earth. Is it not already written in the words of our sages in Masechet Derech Eretz and explicitly discussed in the works of the masters of ethical behavior? For example, in the end of the holy work, Reshit Chochmah, in the Sheni Luchot HaBrit, and in the work of Shevet Musa, which brings the testimonials attributed to Rebbe Eliezer HaGadol. The man who desires life should diligently learn to keep the way of the tree of life. For in truth, our sages, Tana Divrei Eliyahu Rabbah, Eric 1, said, proper conduct precedes Torah study. In particular, if someone who is considered a Torah scholar does not behave properly, behold, he desecrates God and the Torah. We have learned in the Mishnah, Pirkei Avot 3:10, whoever is pleasing to men is pleasing to the omnipresent. This is a great principle in proper conduct. A person should do that which is upright, is good and upright in the eyes of God and men. He should annul his will before the will of others, and he should be sociable with all the people. With everything that a person learns about proper conduct, he has not discharged his obligation until he is a sage and understands things on his own, because this is one of the things that has no measure. It all depends upon the place, the time, and accord with the specific person, how he should conduct himself based on his character. He needs to comprehend the mind of the other person in order to make his will as his own, on condition that it is not against the will of the Creator. Excuse me, I just occurred to me, I'd like to dedicate this shir to my late father-in-law, Moshe ben Avraham Yitzchak, whose yard site is today.
Oh, well,
May his neshama have an aliyah.
Amen. Thank you.
Lias Neshama. Okay, it's what's the date? The Hebrew date is Daled Tevis. That makes sense.
The Hebrew date? No. The 6th, isn't it?
Oh, it's Vav 6. Okay,
I think.
trying to read my thing over here. It's not so clear. I see. Vav Tevis. Okay.
What did you just say?
Daled.
Look,
I have a phone that has the Hebrew dates, but it's the letters are very. Some of them are very. you have to know which one is a dalet and which one is a vav and which one is a resh. They
Okay.
and not formed so properly.
Uh-huh.
So
Oh,
this is vav. Okay, that's vav. Looks a little bit like a. I knew it wasn't a resh because there's no such thing as the 200th day of Tavis, but I thought that it may have been a dalid, but that also didn't make any sense to me. So vav, that's good. Okay.
thank you.
Okay, so that's okay, very good. So that's derech eretz, the importance of derech eretz. Derech eretz is particularly important it's important all the time, but I'm just thinking how important it is that people view that that you're conducting yourself in a proper way to people that don't appreciate Torah. So but they do appreciate derech eretz. Everybody appreciates derech eretz. Everybody appreciates being dealt with in a way of derech eretz, even if they do not understand the importance of Torah learning. And whenever they see someone who has a yarmulke on, he's automatically a representative of the Jewish people, and therefore, the person has to be very careful to make sure that he has an opportunity. Really, he has an opportunity really to make a kiddush Hashem. And Has v'sholom, the opposite. Okay. A round of applause for page 160. Very good. Now we go to the paragraph, page 161. We go to Lou. Please.
A man always needs to appreciate the maybe and to be concerned lest he burden his friend. As such, how precious are the words of Shlomo HaMelech, who said, "Make your feet scarce from the house of your friend." Sometimes a person thinks that he is honoring his friend and sits with him for several hours. He does not know that his companion is thinking in his heart, "When will you leave?" He has a large business to take care of and is being delayed by you. Sometimes one's presence is even heavier than a weighty burden. This occurs either when he speaks words of criticism that are like shooting arrows, when he is rambling on, or when he pries and intrudes into personal matters, etc. Hence, an astute man will act with cleverness and keep his comments pleasant and brief to his listeners, so that they will not be disgusted by them. Even orators need to be careful not to be too lengthy. Less is good, and the audience will actually listen. It is better that people say, "This person speaks so briefly," than they say, "This person speaks for so long." Nowadays, brevity in all matters is the coin of the realm. People interpret the verse homiletically, and he said to the harvesters, Kotzrim, those who make things short, "God be with you."
Is that a play on the word kotzrim?
No, this is a pasuk in Megillus Rus. When Boaz went to came back from his duties in the city, and he came back to his fields, he sees his workers there, the harvesters, and that's the word for kotzrim. This is harvesters. Kotzer, it's one of the lamites malachas, to harvest.
Oh, I see. That, and here it is, that those who make things short, meaning cut cut down the grain, shorten the grain stalks.
I think he is making a pun. He's saying the word for harvester literally means those who make things short, which is in consonance with the theme of the paragraph, which is to make your words short.
Correct.
Hmm.
Yeah, what the yeah, he translates here, the people interpret the verse homiletically. So what do we say over here? Derek Sachos. Yeah, Derek Sachos. Fine. That's what Boaz said to them. He said, Hashem imachem. His words were short and to the point. Okay. And they had a message. They had a very good message. He gave them a bracha. He showed them that he was thinking of them, and that he wanted to. He wishes their welfare. So he's communicated all sorts of very nice things over here in 2 words. Okay. Yeah. And one of those 2 words is Shem Hashem. So that's quite an amazing thing that he did over there, that Chazal say. It wasn't in the context of a bracha, right, or saying a pasuk that he was learning Torah. Well, he just said the Shem Hashem in the form of a greeting, in the form of a blessing. Okay. Okay, Alan, please.
Let's see, 161 is
Oh, somebody wanted to get in, I see.
the man always needs, right, to appreciate the maybe. Is that it?
Oh, look who's coming in. It's Dr. Roth.
Oh. It's the first full paragraph on 161, right?
It's
Second-
the one the last paragraph. A person should also.
Okay, all right. Person should also not impose on his friend with his eyes. If the other person wants to do something in private, for example, a mitzvah, charity, etc., you too should conceal yourself so he is not distressed by you seeing him. Whatever you saw, do not tell anyone and make yourself as if you know nothing. Likewise, if you see that your friend has new possessions, pretend as if you do not know that they're new. The Talmud in Kesubot 17a cites Behel says, a beautiful and becoming bride. In this we learn that one should not criticize the purchase of his friend after he's already bought it. Rather, one should praise the purchase before him. All the more so if this was something purchased for him by someone else. For if you denigrate it or say to him, I feel it for less, it's just like causing him emotional distress. The person who bought it for him will be angry enough to kill, and great will be the animosity and strife.
Okay. So, Shalom Aleichem, Dr. Roth. Nice to have you with us today. Okay,
I had to unmute. Nice to be here. It's Pele.
we're in the middle
Yoetz.
of for Pele Yoetz.
Okay, let me look it up.
Pele Yoetz,
Volume 1.
we're actually reading from a translation, an English translation.
Okay.
But if you have a Pele Yoetz Sefer, it's in the entry of Derek Eretz.
Okay, we probably do, but I don't know where. Thanks.
Hmm.
Do you think it's on Sefaria?
Might be. Can try.
I'm trying.
I doubt it's on Severia.
Thanks. I go to a
Oh,
different
this,
one.
oh, I see. Uh-huh. Well, that's only English foreign. I'm sure there's one that has it in the Lashon Kodesh.
Okay, I'll look around. Thanks.
Okay. So this is something that we spoke about, I remember. When your friend has bought something, what should you say? Or when your wife bought a new dress, what should you say? This was the no say, and he's discussing it over here in this entry here of Derek Eretz. Right? If he's already bought it, so he's not really asking you whether he should buy it. He's already bought it. So you may as well, it's Derek Eretz to say that it's not criticize the purchase. And he even says one should praise the purchase. And he didn't say but you shouldn't do that if you think that it's not very nice. He didn't make any chilukim over here. If we could be medayik in his lashon, we could say that he's saying that across the board, that that's what should be said. And then he makes this interesting point. This is a very interesting point. He says this is all the more so if it was something that was bought for him by somebody else. Somebody gave him this, I guess, as a present. And so he's saying, oh, what do you think of this new garment that my friend bought for me or my wife bought for me? And then, oh boy. Oh, that's what people say. How much did you pay for it? Ooh, right? How much did you pay for it? The person already bought it. He already paid whatever it was that he paid for it. Don't ask him how much he paid for it. That's what he's saying. And then that's what he's saying. He says if you denigrate it by saying, "Oh, what do you think of it?" Well, I don't know. Not too. It doesn't look so good on you. Chas v'shalom, to say such a thing. And additionally, one should not say, "I bought it for less." So no discussion of how much the person paid for it should be any part of the discussion, because of course that's going to make him feel bad that he overpaid for the item. And that's the whole idea of Derek Eretz, I'm understanding over here. We do things and say things so that people feel good about the fact that we're there with them and about what we say to them, that they feel good about it. It's empowering, it's inspiring, it's interesting, it's makes them feel good. That's Derek Eretz, to act in that way. And so, of course, that is not either one of those two things. We should not do. Okay. All right. We're back to Roy. And a round of applause for page 161. We always
just
have a
ask-
round of applause when we make a siyum. And we made a siyum on page 161 just now.
Mazel tov.
Baruch
Question.
Hashem.
I found the Hebrew on Sefaria. Can you just tell me
Yes.
is a parak and which amud?
Okay. So if you have one that says Helik Aleph, Helik Base, this is in Helik Aleph.
Okay.
And it is in Os Daled. He goes according to the Aleph base, and we're in Os Daled now. And it's the first entry in Os Daled is Dveikus, and the second entry is Derech. And now we are in the middle of Derech Eretz, which is the third entry in Os Daled.
Thank you.
I won't tell you the page number. I mean, my page number here is Kuf Yud Gimel, but there have been so many publications of this sefer for the last 200 years, and also in the last 50 years as well. And each one of them does it his own way. So it's the page numbers are not always equal. So right now we are in the let's see. We are in the Hamavakish Mechavero Eza Chesed. That's what we're up to. You have that? Oh, so would you like, if you want, you could, we'd be happy to have you read.
No.
You don't have to.
A person who requests a favor from his friend must be very careful not to burden him too much. He certainly should not send many solicitors until his request is met. If he is a very important person whose petition people are embarrassed to decline, he must be very careful not to request anything from anyone for himself. Besides the fact that the patron is upset with him, there is also a tinge of stealing if he acts against his own best interests, as is clarified in the Sefer HaChasidim in section 316. What's the
Wow.
assumption here that's happening?
Yeah, we have to be, the main idea that I understand from this paragraph is that we have to be very careful in requesting favors from other people. Why? Because they may not really want to do it. And if we prevail upon them and they end up doing it against their will, this is not a good thing. And so therefore he's saying this is particularly the case when you have an Adam Chashuv, when you have a person that people regard as a very, very important person, and no one wants to refuse his requests if he happens to request something of him, and so therefore he's the Pele Yoetz is warning this Adam Chashuv that it even has a tinge of stealing, he says. If on account of the request of the very important person, this patron that he's asking does something which the important person asks him, which is against the best interests of the patron. So so that's the no say over here. All right. We continue with Alan. Shlomo HaMelech stated.
Shlomo HaMelech in Mishlei 25:7 stated, it is better that it be said to you, come up here, than you're being demoted before the prince. He further, Ibid 25:6 noted, do not stand in the place of great men. The person should always sit at a level below the one which he imagines is befitting for him, and he should not ascend until the entries of others are overwhelming. Halachic decisors have already ruled, see Tosafot 86b, Tosafot entry aim, that in matters of respect and honor, one may refuse even a great man. The man must always honor another person with a little more respect than he presumes is appropriate for him. What difference does it make to a man to offer a bit more respect? If the other person is pleased by it, then it is considered a mitzvah. One should especially treat guests and Torah scholars with additional respect, for he thereby performs an act of kindness. It is good for a person to speak to someone who is greater than himself in wisdom or older in years in the third person, such as he or master. It is stated in the Mishnah, Avot 4:1, who is honored? The one who honors others.
Okay, very good. Just to explain this first statement that he brings here from Shlomo Melech, it's better to that it be said to you, come up here, than you're being demoted before the prince. He's talking about a case, very, very practical case. Let's say a person, let's say there's a dais, right, for all the important people at this simcha or this meeting or whatever it is, and the person goes up there to sit over there. So, and no one asked him to go over there, and he could think, well, I deserve to be here. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is, I'm a Adam Chashuv or whatever it is, so, but it may come out that there's other people that should be up there instead of him, and that eventually somebody will come over to him and say, please, could you get up and sit somewhere else, which is of course doesn't feel very good to do a thing like to have to do that. So rather than putting yourself in a situation like that he's going to be demoted before the prince, so it's better that that the person sits not at that place, and they come and tell you, please come up here to the dais. You deserve to be here. That's the point of that statement of Shlomo Melech, based upon the pasuk in Mishlei. Okay, and so that's what we always have to remember, that we should give respect to other people, and he says even more than it doesn't hurt to give even a little more than what he presumes is appropriate for him. And this is what it says in Avos. Who is the person who is a mechubad, the person who is honored? Not the one. I would have said, well, you could tell he's the person who's mechubad. He's the honorable person because of all of the cover that other people give him. Wouldn't that be the way to explain or define who is the person who is an honorable person? Other people think that he's honorable and they give him cover. So the Avos says exactly the opposite of that. It says, you know what? The ones that are honored are the ones that honor that honorable, quote unquote, honorable person. They're the ones that are honorable, because the honorable is to give the honor to another person. Does he deserve it? Yeah, right. Why shouldn't he have honor? You honor him, of course. You honor other people. That'll be very good, very good. They'll be very happy to have that honor. Like we said before, that's the first rule of Derek Eretz, that people appreciate your presence. And if you say things that they like, then that's that they appreciate your presence because because you treat them in a very nice way. Okay. Now we go to the last paragraph of Derek Eretz. Lou, would you like to make the siyum on Derek Eretz?
Derek Eretz, God Torah. Since
All right,
proper
one more.
conduct for each individual has already been discussed at length in all of the works that I mentioned, they have not left me any reason to discuss the matter in detail. Furthermore, it has already been said that not all people, nor are all situations the same. It requires wisdom to fully understand the mind of each person and to wholly empathize with him. Sometimes there is a straight path before a man on which he thinks he will find favor in the eyes of people. The people are not pleased with him. Therefore, a person needs to investigate and explore wisdom and to listen to advice in order to know the proper way. He must plead for mercy from the Master of Heaven, that he guide him with judicious advice to do that which is good and straight in the eyes of God and men, and that he should find favor and good understanding in their eyes. All of his deeds should be far for the sake of understanding in their eyes. Goodness from those who walk, all of his deeds should be for the sake of heaven. God will not withhold goodness from those who walk with absolute trust and faith. God will bestow grace and honor.
Okay, very good.
Shabbat
The siyum
shalom.
of Derek Eretz. Shabbat shalom. Good Shabbos, everybody. Good Shabbos to Lou, and good Shabbos to Roy and Alan and to
Please ask
Dr.
your
Roth.
wife, is this link the new link?
Well, we're hoping that we'll be able to get back to the regular scheduled place, but in the meantime, we this is the one. So
All right. So we'll try the old link, and then if that doesn't work, we'll try this one on Sunday.
yeah, we're hoping that we're already in contact with a technician, and they said that they understood the problem immediately, and they'll have to come over and take it and fix it.
Very good.
Okay.
Good Shabbos to everybody. Thank
Good
you.
Shabbos.
Shabbos.
Thank you.
Shabbos.
Bye-bye.
Good Shabbos, Rebbe Chiel. Good Shabbos.
Shabbos.
Shabbos, Alan.
Shabbos. Shabbos.